Welcome back, everybody, to your stimulus update for today. I am titling this episode, This Is It, because I truly believe this is the last opportunity to get a stimulus bill and stimulus check out to the American people before the election, before January and February, before the whole switchover happens. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that later in the video, because even if it doesn't happen now, there is still a good opportunity for stimulus a little bit later. But let's deal with what's happening now, because there's a lot happening, a lot from Nancy Pelosi, Stephen Mnuchin, Mark Meadows, Donald Trump. We're going to talk about all of it right after this. Once again, welcome back to your stimulus update for today, Thursday, October 1st. We are finally in October. It is feeling good here in New York with the crisp, cool air. Let's talk about stimulus. So where are we? Yesterday was big news. Unfortunately, yesterday I got way too tired editing the video that I did yesterday, and I just could not do a video. So here I am today. I want to recap just a bit. We heard from Mark Meadows and Stephen Mnuchin that they were going to offer a counter offer to Nancy Pelosi's $2.2 trillion new updated HEROES Act, which we did a video on. You can check it out. We went through a little bit more detail what's in that HEROES Act. So they counter offered. We didn't know exactly how much the counteroffer was. All we knew is that Mark Meadows said it's certainly above the $1.5 trillion that has been articulated to date. Yet, as you get above $1.5 trillion, it gets extremely difficult to justify it based on the facts. So we know that it's not $2 trillion because he said if it starts with a 2, it's going to be a real problem. And then we got some information specifically from Roll Call where it was reported that Mnuchin was today, right now, actually hours ago, going over a $1.62 trillion counteroffer with Nancy Pelosi. So we believe that Stephen Mnuchin's at 1.62 and Nancy Pelosi is at $2.2 trillion. And to that, Nancy Pelosi stated, "We are hopeful that we can reach an agreement because the needs of the American people are so great. But there has to be a recognition that it takes money to do that." And then they met this afternoon, actually just an hour ago or two is when everything sort of ended. And there's news coming out right now as I'm recording this video, but there's enough news sources right now that are reporting that the talks did not actually produce a stimulus bill. In fact, Nancy Pelosi's spokesperson said that there is distance on key areas that remains. So what's the deal? What is going on? It doesn't look like they were able to compromise in this area. So I need to go into a little bit of a real talk right now on what I believe is happening. I'm going to talk to you like I'd probably talk to a friend or a colleague. This is what's going on. And my issue is in both areas. It's actually on both the Democrat and the Republican side. Nancy Pelosi, in my opinion, there is no reason politically that Nancy Pelosi should accept a $1.62 trillion negotiated deal, because why would that be helpful to her and her party? It wouldn't be. The last thing Nancy Pelosi would really want is stimulus going out to the American people just before an election, which actually surprises me that she was willing to put a $2.2 trillion stimulus bill together, because in my opinion, that was a toss-up to the Republicans. I really think the last thing that Nancy Pelosi actually wants them to do is to agree to the $2.2 trillion. Now, I know some people might be listening to me and saying that I'm being cynical, but I'm being very serious right now. I know that there are people on both sides of the aisle, and you believe that your side actually cares about you, whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, that they care about the little people, depending on which side you like. But let me be honest with you. They're politicians. All of them are politicians. And more than anything, politicians want power. Nancy Pelosi is a politician. So more than anything, she wants to make sure that the Democrats have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. A stimulus bill going out to America and stimulus checks going out to the American people right now, a month before the election, would not be good for that, because it would look like everything's going well. It would look very good for Donald Trump, and it wouldn't be good for changing seats over in the House and the Senate. So really, in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion, but based off of facts and politicians, she doesn't really want them to agree to a stimulus deal, but she's willing to do it at 2.2. So the thing is will she agree to a 1.62? The answer is no. Why would she? I would be stunned if she did that, because it just wouldn't fit politically. Now, if she did do that, my opinion of Nancy Pelosi would change dramatically. I'm just being honest with you. I would literally think of the woman in a different way. Like, oh my goodness, she was willing to compromise that much for the American people. And she was willing to allow a stimulus to go out, even though it would probably have a negative impact to Democrats. That would be something. And that would actually change my opinion greatly. I do, however, don't think that's going to happen. I think she's going to stay at the $2.2 trillion. So that leads us to the side of the Republicans. And the Republican side is a little bit of a bigger problem. In my opinion, the Republicans should take the $2.2 trillion and run with it. I mean, why not? You're going to send out $2.2 trillion into the economy right before an election. You're going to send out stimulus checks to the American people right before an election. You're going to give out unemployment boost right before an election. You're going to give out more PPP help to small businesses right before an election. You're going to give out more money to hospitals and schools right before an election. Go with the $2.2 trillion. Here's the problem, though. Senate Republicans. Donald Trump would do this if he could, but he can't. He's the executive branch. He's not the legislative branch. He doesn't make the laws. He wants the Senate Republicans to do it, but they won't do it. They keep fighting over these smaller numbers. But the Senate Republicans are either sabotaging themselves or they don't realize what they're doing, because this is a huge mistake. So let's get to the negotiations that just happened. They did not yield results, meaning there was no agreement. It doesn't mean it's over, but in my opinion, it means Nancy Pelosi sees no reason to agree to a $1.62 trillion bill, because in all honesty, it would actually just be helpful to the Republicans. And Stephen Mnuchin can't go up to $2.2 trillion because if the number starts with a 2, Senate Republicans won't vote on it. So there we are. Stuck now in this place. What is going to happen going forward? I don't know, but it doesn't look great. Even if Stephen Mnuchin went up to 1.8 or 1.9, I don't think Nancy Pelosi would accept it for the reasons I've already stated. It would not make sense for her and for her party. And if she did, my opinion would be changed of her. I would definitely think about her a lot differently because she would be making a decision separate from her political power, which would be amazing. Senate Republicans, I have no idea why they won't accept the $2.2 trillion, but they won't. So in my opinion, if I was Donald Trump, this is what I would do. I would tell Stephen Mnuchin to accept the $2.2 trillion. I would voice my opinion and say, it is time. We need to accept this. It is in the middle. I think this is a good deal. It's for the American people. Let it go to the House. It will pass the House. Then let it go to the Senate. Mitch McConnell has already voiced his opposition to this bill. However, if Donald Trump pushes enough, there might be enough there where they can say, you know what? Let's do this. Let's pass it. Now, you're going to get a ton of Republicans voting against this. Maybe even 30 of them. Maybe 40. I don't know. But if you can just get a few of them on board, it might only be 5 or 6. And all of the Democrats, because I'm not unsure if all the Democrats will vote for it, but if you get all the Democrats and then just a few Republicans, it will pass the House. They will have to go against Mitch McConnell, maybe, and for the leading of Donald Trump if he's willing to do it. But if I was Donald Trump, that's what I would do right now. And yes, I do believe it's for political reasons. I think he wants the stimulus to go out for political reasons. I mean, listen, I calling Nancy Pelosi a politician. Donald Trump, he was a businessman and still technically is, but he's a politician now too. He wants to remain in power as well. He wants the stimulus to go out to the American people. This is what I would tell Stephen Mnuchin to do when the negotiation is over. The 2.2 is the number. The ball is in the court of Stephen Mnuchin and Donald Trump right now, and they're going to have to make the call to say, let's go with the 2.2. And then tell the Senate, you're either going to go with McConnell or you're going to go with me. Maybe there's enough defectors. I know this is probably not going to be happening, but I'm just trying to share with you guys what my thoughts are in my head. So, is the stimulus over? The answer is no. There is still an opportunity for stimulus, but it might not happen now. Because if we still have this stalemate where we have Nancy Pelosi not going to agree to the 1.62 and Stephen Mnuchin not going to go to the 2.2 because he already knows the Senate Republicans, most of them, if not all of them, are not going to vote for it. It's not over, but it does mean we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait until the new year when there's new individuals in the government, and then there's a pickup again on needing to provide help to the American people. It's a shame. It is wrong. It's unbelievable to me in many ways. There is still hope that Nancy Pelosi and Stephen Mnuchin can figure it out. That hope is dwindling. That wick is burning down. The candle wax is falling all over the place. But even if it doesn't happen, and I know a lot of you have been messaging me, sending me emails that you really need this money, and I hear you. There is still hope, but it might be months away for the next one to pick up with the new government or whatever goes on after the elections. And we will continue to keep you informed as that goes forward. It's the best we can do here. We can't make our government here do anything, even if we know it's probably the best thing for them to do. Hope you guys appreciate the information. Just trying to be as honest as I can with you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, consider subscribing to the channel. I would love to have you come along with me. As always, I will catch you next time.